Now, when it comes to Airbnb photography, there are some simple game-changing things that can be done that really make a massive difference for when it comes to shooting Airbnbs. In this video, I'm going to go through my simple pre-shoot checklist that I go through with every single client when I take a booking to make sure that they are getting the best photos possible on the day of the shoot. Hello, you beautiful humans. It is Jem Lang here and welcome to another video. Now, this is part of my Airbnb short-term rental photography series. So if you are interested in learning more about that style of photography, feel free to check out the playlist at the end of this video. And also while you're there, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Just give it a little bit of a tickle. It's just down there. Now, make sure you do stick around to the end of the video because I do have a bonus tip, which is going to make all of this so much simpler and easier to streamline the process of going through the pre-shoot checklist with your client. Now, tip number one, it might seem pretty obvious, but you do want the property to be nice and clean and presentable. It makes a big difference and it will show in the photos. By having clutter and dirt, you will see it in the shots. I have seen it. It doesn't look good and it doesn't look inviting. You want it to be clean for both inside and outside. So if there is a garden, make sure that the lawn is mowed, leaves are blown away. If there's a patio, make sure it is swept. So make sure that your outside is looking presentable. Now, when it comes to inside, you want to remove any clutter, remove personal items such as family photos. People don't want to have a reminder that they're actually staying in someone else's place. They want to be able to forget about the world and just switch off and enjoy their time there. The other thing is also mirrors and windows. Make sure they are clean. I do recommend using newspaper to remove streaks on mirrors and windows. It's actually a bit of a game-changing tip. And just overall make sure that the property is looking really presentable and clean. It does make a big difference. Now, tip number two is steaming the beds. This makes a massive difference for when photographing bedrooms and beds. There's nothing worse than seeing the creases on the quilt or the side of it in the photos. It is really distracting. They really do stand out in photos. You can remove a little bit of it with Lightroom and Photoshop, but you want them to be as presentable as possible on the day of the shoot. So it is worth the time for the client to do this. Now, they don't need to go out and buy a steamer if they haven't got one. They can use an iron. And this isn't something that needs to be done with every single time there is a turnover on the property. It is just for the photos because those creases will stand out and it makes it look less inviting. You want the bedrooms to be looking nice and warm and welcoming. And by doing this, it makes it look nice, clean and crisp and inviting in the photos. Cushions, yes, lots of cushions. They are a really good cost-effective way of being able to soften up a place by adding atmosphere and making them looking warm and inviting to guests. You don't need to go overboard with having them from head to tail, covering the whole bed. Just by having a couple at the top of the bed with maybe a throw at the end. You can also do that for armchairs, for sofas, for couches. It's a really good way of being able to soften up the place, adding atmosphere to the photos, and also for while the guest is staying there. It just makes it a little bit more enjoyable, warm, and welcoming. How many times have I said that? I've even gone to places where they've had no cushions at all throughout the whole place, and I sent them off to go buy some because they do make a really big difference. Now, lighting plays a crucial role for setting the ambiance and highlighting the best features of the Airbnb. You want your client to go through the whole property to make sure that all the lights and all the lamps are working. I also recommend for lamps going with warmer lights as they are warm, hence the name, and inviting opposed to cooler, cold lighting. You also want to make sure that the lamps match as well in the bedrooms. There is nothing worse than seeing a cool light on one side and a warm on the other. You can fix that in Photoshop, but look, it's less work by just having the matching globes to begin with. Another way of increasing the quality of the photos and giving a sense of ambiance of hospitality is by setting the table. This will enhance the appeal of the Airbnb or short-term rental for potential guests who are looking at the photos and the listing. It will invoke a sense of being able to create lifelong memories by staying in the place. Now, the owner doesn't need to go overboard with this. They will already have crockery and glasses and cutlery in the place, well, you would expect them to have that stuff. So they can already use those things, maybe getting some napkins or maybe getting a centerpiece with some flowers from the garden or from a local florist. They can play around with it, get creative, and just match the style that suits the place. Now, this one is my favorite because it normally means I get to have a glass of wine at the end of the shoot, and it is putting out a cheese board and a bottle of wine. This is a really good way of being able to showcase what is available with local produce and the experience of staying in the place. And it is really indulgent as well. On the cheese board, obviously put out some cheeses, some meats, some gourmet crackers, maybe some fruits, and display it so it looks really nice and appealing. And of course, grab a bottle of wine. If you're in a wine region, grab one from a local winery, or even if you're not, just showcase what is available in the area just to give that sense of indulgence with having the cheese board and the wine there. Now, as a bonus tip, I wanted to share with you the best way that I have found with giving this information to a client when they're booking. Now, I do go through it with them over the phone when they do book. So if they do have any questions, I can answer them there and then for them. But I have also created a flyer that I send out every time a client books with me so they can refer to it, and it's got all the information outlined in this video, plus example photos and a checklist which they can refer to as they're preparing for the shoot. If you are interested in this template, I have made it available in the link in the description below. You'll be able to customize it with your own photos, your own branding, and your own logo as well. And it's just the cost of a coffee, and it will set you up for success. This has been a game changer in my business. So there you go. That is my pre-shoot checklist that I go through with every single booking that I take for Airbnb and short-term rental photo shoots. Have I missed anything? Is there anything that you're not sure about or you want to add to? Let me know in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. My name is Jem Lang, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.